Panic at the Disco is touring now, and they've stopped by NPR's Performance Studio. Welcome to you all.
Hey, thanks.
Before we launch right into grilling you about your music, could you just introduce yourselves, starting with you, Brendan, at the piano?
Brendan Urie.
I am Spencer Smith.
I'm Ryan Ross.
I'm John Walker from Chicago, Illinois.
Now, the new CD, Pretty Odd, is pretty highly produced. But you have a kind of a stripped-down set for us today, at least not the horns, the strings. Can we hear your acoustic version of the first single? This is 9 in the afternoon.
Yes, you may.
'Cause it's echoey in this room. My headphones are full of her boom.
Okay.
My brain just goes, sorry.
Brendan, let me ask you, since you're talking, that even before I read any reviews of this album, hearing the first couple tracks, I thought, oh my gosh, this is like Sgt. Pepper's. The first transition, the sort of from Billy Shears, that goes into A Little Help from My Friends. It comes in the piano. I mean, it sounds really similar.
That's what we did. Well, yeah, we sat down and we were just like, you know what? We should probably just completely rip this off because this is probably known as the biggest record of all time. So,
I gather you take a little offense to that.
No, it's not offense. It's just curiosity.
Yeah, I'm not the first person to say this, though. I went back and read some of the reviews, and a lot of people have talked about the Beatles.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we definitely are all fans of them, and, I mean, if you are going to be influenced by any band, what better band to be influenced by?
It's like Christians who want to be like Jesus, We're just trying to follow in someone's footsteps. So might as well be the Beatles, the Schmeedles,
So the first album went double platinum, you guys. And you weren't even really old enough to do the champagne toast, legally anyway. You're, 18, 19, 20 years old, and you sit down to write your next album. I mean, you've got to live up to the first album.
Well, I think I had more pressure to get good grades in high school. Felt like more pressure, because songwriting's just fun for us.
Uh-huh.
And we don't really look at it like that, like a pressure thing. I don't know, maybe we're just a little bit cocky or something, but I think that our new album is better just because we're getting better at writing songs. So it wasn't like I thought that album was so good that we weren't going to be able to do anything better.
Do you wish, in some way, that you hadn't made it so big with the first album?
I don't know. Sometimes you can go back and forth on that thought, but we kind of grew up a little bit in some sort of spotlight, and it's strange to say you wouldn't want to be successful, but I think that just our songs are better now. So, yeah, I would have rather people have heard these, but I wouldn't have rather nobody heard the other stuff.
Sounds like you guys were not quite as happy back then as you are these
we
days.
weren't.
How could you tell?
They didn't know me, John Walker.
We hadn't met John Walker yet.
Lights up our life.
What is it? Is it
You're the
just,
light of my life, John.
is it just getting older, you think?
Maybe.
I think so. I think, when you're a teenager, sometimes your emotions are a little bit more drastic than maybe when you're in your 20s. You sort of level out a little bit. So everything on that one was more about trying to take ourselves more seriously than we actually needed to, and, just more angsty. And we're not really like that anymore.
We used to have anxiety disorder, now we don't.
Spencer, you've had a big hand in a lot of this. What do you think? Are you happier?
Yeah, I think that was a big thing for us was hearing a lot of artists or other bands that we maybe listen to, talk about how tough it is to be, in a successful band. And for us, we went from being in high school and living in our parents' houses, and everything that happened in the past couple of years for us was kind of, a dream come true. And we just felt like it wouldn't be true to ourselves if we were still kind of acting like we were just pissed off at the world for something, because we were having a great time and we were just excited about writing. So we just wanted to make that come through.
I have to say, if I'm allowed to interject my own opinion,
You are.
It feels more sophisticated, actually, the new album.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's because we weren't trying to be. I think we used to try too hard to be.
Well, I would love to have you guys play us out with the third release, yet to be released, track from your new album, Northern Downpour. But before we do that, I really appreciate you guys coming by. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. It was fun.